What's going on, everyone? It is Film Talk with Mikey here. I hope all of you are doing well. So this is going to be my physical media haul for the month of October, and it's going to be a very short one because I only have 4 titles to show you guys, and they're all Blu-rays. So let's get right into it. We're going to start off with a Scream Factory double feature that I got at Walmart. Now, I'm not sure if every Walmart is going to have this specific Blu-ray, but my local Walmart did. And what's really interesting is that my local Walmart was charging about $14.96 for this, but on the not the website, but on the app, well, yeah, I guess you can say website, but on their app, it's showing that the Blu-ray is only $12.96. So I was like, well, I can get it for the online price, even though it's a little bit more in store. Why not do that? And I had some gift cards, so I was actually able to get it a lot cheaper than the $12.96. But I ended up picking up Love at First Bite and Once Bitten. Mainly got it for Once Bitten, one of my favorite Jim Carrey films, one of his earlier films in his career. I'm not sure if this came out not too long after Earth Girls Are Easy or if it came. Yeah, I think Earth Girls Are Easy came out in 1986, and then this one came out in 85. So this was really the role he did before that film came out. And of course, we know how Jim Carrey's career ended up, you know, with absolutely amazing classics like The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, uh, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. I mean, the list can go on and on. And then we have Love at First Bite, which I've never seen, but it's got a great cast. You got George Hamilton, Susan St. James, and Richard Benjamin. I believe this movie got a separate release from another boutique label studio, so I feel like if you're looking to get that by itself, then there are other places. But for some odd reason, Once Bitten has yet to get an official like standard release, and with Scream Factory kind of in a way re-releasing their stuff on 4K, I would not be surprised if this film down the road gets a single release, especially on the 4K format. So it's been a while since I've seen the film, so I am long overdue for a rewatch, but not bad to come across at Walmart. And this is kind of one of the Scream Factory titles that's been on my wish list for quite a while. I believe at one point the Blu-ray was out of print, um, but I could be wrong on that. The next one here I ended up getting from Groove. So I went through Best Buy because Best Buy had sent me a $10 off coupon. And for those who may not be familiar with Best Buy recently, they're letting third-party sellers like Groove Entertainment sell on their website, which is pretty cool. I think this is kind of them testing the waters to see if there is traffic, and if there is, there's a possibility that Best Buy could be like, okay, well, start selling movies again. But the great thing is, Best Buy sends me a $10 off coupon, and I'm actually able to use it off an item that's $10 or more, and that's exactly what I did. So I ended up only paying 20 cents for this, which I thought was a really good deal, and that's the Mummy Trilogy. Now, I do know there's a 4K set out there, and I don't need every film on 4K. A lot of the personal favorites are the ones that I will either upgrade to 4K or get the 4K of, but everything else I'll just go with Blu-ray. I'm not someone who has to constantly get every film on 4K or upgrade every film on 4K, because to be honest with you, some 4Ks don't look all that great. There's a lot that, are not worth it, like Terminator 2 is a prime example. And I think there's a few other ones, but my 4K player, it can upscale. So a lot of movies I do watch on Blu-ray tend to look a lot better. So I would not be surprised with The Mummy being, one of them. So yeah, I mainly got it just for the the first two films. They're classics. I love the first one hands down. The third one I haven't seen, but from what I've heard, it's not really all that great. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to giving those films a watch. Next, we have 1941, a film that stars Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. Never seen it. It's a complete blind buy for me, but it's got an excellent cast. You have the likes of like Treat Williams, Robert Stack, Christopher Lee, Tim Matheson. So, you really can't go wrong with that. And I believe it's a comedy as well. So, yeah, I'm excited to check this one out. It's been on my list of Dan Aykroyd films to watch for quite the longest time. So, yeah, was able to pick that one up off of Groove, I believe. Was it Groove? No, it was Amazon. My bad. Yeah, was able to pick it up off of Amazon for a good price. So, and then the last one here is the Kino Lorber release of Repossessed, finally on Blu-ray. This is one of those movies that I always remember trying to come across the DVD of this, when I was hunting for movies, and I could never find it. And if I was able to, especially like places like Movie Stop or FYE, it was just like way more than I wanted to pay. I think it's kind of one of those, some of the spoof movies that are kind of up there in the rare, category where they're not easy to come by, and if you do come across it, they tend to be a little more than what you want to pay. Not like your most common ones like Airplane or Top Secret or I mean, the list just goes on. There's a few like Hot Shots, but this one and like Mafia with Jay Moore, I think those are kind of like the two that are not easy to come across very often as you would any other ones. But yeah, it's kind of a parody. I mean, it's a spoof film, but it's kind of, parodying and making fun of itself as a unofficial sequel to The Exorcist. And of course, you have Linda Blair returning, who looks fantastic in this. I'm not gonna lie, and she still looks great. She aged very, very well. Same with Sissy Spacek, but yeah, it's just absolutely hilarious. It's over the top, but I think in a good way because it blends everything really, really well. You're not getting moments where like it just becomes too much. So I do like that. But if I'm going to be honest with you guys, the quality on this could have been better. It wasn't up to what I would have thought, and that's unfortunate because there's a lot of movies out there that tend to, older films like a lot older than this that tend to get better transfers and look amazing, whether it's Blu-ray or 4K. But for this one, man, I feel like they could have done a little bit more on cleaning up this picture. Now, don't get me wrong; it's clear as day. It has its moments, and it is great. You have your green, not too saturated, but man, I feel like they could have cleaned this up a little bit better. That's just my personal opinion. But the music in this is fantastic. I really really enjoy the soundtrack to this one. So, but yeah, I will be doing a review really soon on this one. Now, you don't get any special features other than audio commentary by the writer and director, which is the same person, Bob Logan, and then a theatrical trailer. That's it. So yeah, it to me this almost feels like, in a way, kind of Kino Lorber's version of the situation that Scream Factory was with when it came to the Time Cop 4K, where I heard transfers are not the greatest and there's no special features. At least we get a commentary with this, but still, I feel like there could have been, excuse me, they could have done so much better with this, but I will be discussing that in a separate video. But there you have it. Those are my Blu-ray pickups. Not bad. Definitely trying to boost up a lot more horror or horror theme. Just kind of, there's a lot. And of course, we have a lot of new stuff coming out. Like The Mask on 4K, and then there's like films like Spawn and Lost in Space that have gotten 4K releases. So I'm trying to upgrade a lot and try to complete those as well. So yeah, I've just been focusing on trying to do that, and hopefully, if things start to pick up with the eBay business, I want to there's a series I was trying to do that didn't really pan out the way I wanted it to, and that was basically, you know, selling movies to flip and take those funds and get boutique labels. Titles I don't have that I've been wanting to get, kind of like videos you see where a lot of video game collectors do the $10 video game challenge. I wanted to do something similar in that way, but with movies, because I don't see anybody do that. So that's kind of the process of what I want to do. But I've also been trying to think of really cool ideas, especially when it comes to, the boutique labels, because they can be very pricey. I mean, you can range anywhere from $30 or higher, depending on the title and the format that you get. So I've been trying to work out these really cool series type videos. So we'll see what happens in the near future. And I'm also trying to uh, kind of boost up my bedroom a little bit when it comes to like movie posters and things like that. I'm trying to get more of a theater movie aspect experience. I guess that's the best way to put it. So like, I'm looking kind of window shopping for a sound bar for my TV. I want to start getting more like horror film, horror movie posters. Like my love for horror has been every year. It just seems like it keeps getting better and better, and I keep getting more into the genre. So I've just kind of been, window shopping for titles that I want to add to the collection, posters and things like that, knickknacks, collectibles, whatever it may be, as well as working on possible horror related videos for the channel. So there's just so many things I want to do. But of course, life can get in the way of that. So but hopefully things will start to pick up pretty soon, and 2026 is right around the corner, which I'm excited about because I got a lot of ideas and cool things to come. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you've seen any of these movies, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. So please comment down below. Don't be shy. You can always give me recommendations as well. It don't matter. And if you want me to subscribe to your channel, then put your channel down in the comment section, and I will definitely subscribe to you. Even if you don't have any videos, I'm more than glad to sub to you guys. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. It's very much appreciated. It keeps me going. I'm trying to hit 2,000 subs by the end of the year, which probably won't happen, but you never know. And yeah, wish I could say more. I'm Film Talk with Mikey, so you guys know the drill. Till next time, we'll talk films. Have a good one. Take care. I will see you guys pretty soon.